Have you ever wondered how an ancient book could accurately predict astronomical phenomena that modern science has only recently discovered? What makes NASA scientists stunned when comparing their calculations with the mysterious numbers in the Book of Enoch? Are we actually living in the exact time period this prophet warned about thousands of years ago? To uncover these mysteries, stay tuned as we dive deep into the details that will blow your mind. Part 1. The Mystery of the Book of Enoch and Celestial Prophecies. In the treasure trove of ancient scriptures, few books spark as much controversy and mystery as the Book of Enoch. Written around the 3rd century BCE, this book contains astronomical knowledge so advanced that, theoretically, people of that era couldn't possibly have known it. Unlike other books in the Bible, the Book of Enoch was removed from the Orthodox canon in the 4th century. Why? Because its content was too dangerous. It didn't just tell stories about fallen angels, but revealed secrets about the structure of the universe and end times with terrifying accuracy. In the Book of Enoch, we find detailed descriptions of the sun and moon's journeys, the zodiacal houses, and most importantly, a grand cycle lasting 26,000 years. Enoch called this the great year of the heavenly bodies, a cycle he said would determine humanity's destiny. What's remarkable is that the Book of Enoch uses a 364-day calendar system instead of our current 365 days. At first glance, this seems like an error, but modern researchers have discovered that this number, 364, has far deeper significance. It's not just a timekeeping system, but a complex mathematical encoding of celestial cycles. Enoch also described the last days, when the heavenly bodies will deviate from their orbits and the earth will shake from its foundations. He predicted there would be signs in heaven and on earth. The planet's magnetic field would change and climate would become chaotic. Even more specifically, Enoch gave concrete numbers about when this would happen. He spoke of the final period of the Great Cycle and provided complex calculations based on celestial movements. For centuries, these numbers were considered symbolic or metaphorical. However, as modern science developed, especially astronomy and astrophysics, we began to realize that Enoch's prophecies might actually be precise scientific calculations encoded in religious language. Scientists have discovered that Earth truly undergoes long cycles. Great cycle. Enoch also mentioned the Watchers of Heaven who taught humans about celestial movements. While traditionally interpreted as angels, some researchers suggest these could represent an advanced understanding of astronomical observation that was somehow preserved from an earlier, more scientifically sophisticated civilization. The book describes how these celestial cycles influence earthly events, including climate changes, geological upheavals, and even the rise and fall of civilizations. Enoch warned that during the final phase of the Great Cycle, humanity would face unprecedented challenges as cosmic forces align in ways that hadn't occurred for tens of thousands of years. What makes Enoch's writings particularly compelling is their mathematical precision. The numbers aren't random. They form intricate patterns that correspond to actual astronomical phenomena. When modern computers analyze these numerical sequences, they reveal hidden relationships between planetary cycles, solar activity, and Earth's magnetic field fluctuations. But do the mysterious numbers in the Book of Enoch really match up with modern scientific discoveries? Part 2. Modern Science Decodes Ancient Codes. In 1920, Serbian mathematician Milutin Milankovic discovered what Enoch might have known thousands of years earlier. Earth undergoes long climate cycles due to changes in its orbit and rotational axis. These cycles, called Milankovic cycles, have decisive impacts on global climate and can even lead to mass extinctions. What's stunning is that when NASA scientists calculated the precession cycle, the wobbling of Earth's axis like a spinning top, they found the number 25,920 years. Rounded up, this is exactly 26,000 years, the number Enoch called the Great Year of the Heavenly Bodies. Dr. Robert Bouval, the renowned Egyptologist, pointed out that the Giza pyramids were built to accurately reflect the position of the Orion constellation around 10,500 BCE, exactly half a precession cycle from our current time. This shows that ancient people not only knew about this cycle, but could calculate it precisely. But it doesn't stop there. Recent studies by NASA and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, have discovered that Earth's magnetic field is weakening at a rate of 5% per century over the past 150 years. This signals the possibility of a magnetic pole reversal, a phenomenon where the north and south magnetic poles switch places. Professor Gary Glatzmaier from UC Santa Cruz used supercomputers to model this process and discovered that magnetic reversals occur in cycles, and we're currently in the time window with the highest probability for this event. What surprises scientists even more is when they compare solar activity data with descriptions in the Book of Enoch. SOHO shows the Sun is undergoing unusual changes. The normal solar activity cycle is 11 years, but since 2008, scientists have observed anomalies. Solar cycle 24 lasted longer than usual and had weaker intensity than predicted. This could lead to a solar minimum, a period when solar activity drops to minimum levels, potentially causing significant climate change on Earth. Dr. Valentina Zharkova from Northumbria University created a mathematical model predicting we'll enter a grand solar minimum around 2030-2040, similar to the Maunder minimum from 1645 to 1715 that caused the Little Ice Age. Perhaps the most astounding discovery came when modern mathematicians analyzed Enoch's 364-day calendar system. They found this wasn't just an ordinary timekeeping system, but a complex mathematical formula encoding information about celestial cycles. The number 364 is divisible by 4, 7, 13, 26, 28, 52, 91, and 182, all numbers with astronomical significance. When you multiply 364 by 71.428571, a number hidden in Enoch's other calculations, you get exactly 26,000, precisely the precession cycle that modern science has confirmed. Recent discoveries have also validated Enoch's descriptions of cosmic catastrophes. The Younger Dryas period, which occurred around 12,900 years ago, saw rapid climate change that some scientists believe was triggered by a cosmic impact or massive solar flare. This time frame aligns remarkably with Enoch's calculations about previous cycles. Advanced computer modeling has revealed that Earth's climate system is far more sensitive to cosmic influences than previously thought. Solar radiation variations of just 0.1% can trigger significant climate shifts, and cosmic ray bombardment during periods of weak magnetic field can increase cloud formation, potentially leading to ice ages. The European Space Agency's SWARM mission, launched to study Earth's magnetic field, has provided unprecedented data showing that magnetic field changes are accelerating. The South Atlantic anomaly, a region of unusually weak magnetic field, is expanding and splitting, suggesting we might be in the early stages of a magnetic reversal. What's particularly intriguing is how Enoch's numerical systems incorporate multiple astronomical cycles simultaneously. His calculations account for solar cycles, lunar phases, planetary alignments, and the precession of equinoxes in an integrated mathematical framework that modern astronomers are only now beginning to fully appreciate. Dr. Paul Laviolette, an astrophysicist who has studied ancient astronomical knowledge, suggests that Enoch's writings history. So, what exact time frame do both the Book of Enoch and modern science point to? Part 3. Decoding End Times Timing, where ancient meets modern. To understand the end times schedule that Enoch encoded, we need to decode the complex calculation system he left behind. Unlike other vague prophecies, Enoch provided specific numbers that can be verified. In the Book of Enoch, there's a passage that reads, "And he was instructed about all the secrets at the end of time, when the great cycle is about to complete." Enoch described that the decisive event would occur when the sun rises from the final house of heaven, a metaphorical way of describing the completion of the 26,000-year precession cycle. Modern researchers have calculated that the last precession cycle began around 13,000 BCE, the time marking the end of the last ice age. This means we're currently in the final phase of this cycle, expected to complete around 2150-2200 CE. But Enoch didn't just talk about the end point. He also described a preparation period beforehand. He stated there would be 150 to 200 years of warning signs when the earth begins to shake and the heavenly bodies change their paths. Remarkably, since 1800, we've begun observing unusual changes in Earth's magnetic field. The position of magnetic north has moved over 1,100 kilometers since it was first measured in 1831. In the past 20 years, this movement has accelerated from 10 kilometers per year to 50 kilometers per year. Dr. Kieran Beggan from the British Geological Survey has warned that if this trend continues, magnetic north could shift from Canada to Siberia within the next 40 years. This would severely impact GPS systems, power grids, and could even affect global climate. Enoch also predicted unusual days when time would seem shortened. This sounds bizarre, but scientists have discovered that Earth is spinning faster. In 2020, Earth had the 28 shortest days since precise measurements began in 1960. July 19, 2020, was 1.4602 milliseconds shorter than the standard 24 hours. Another sign Enoch mentioned was changes in light from heaven. Recently, astronomers have observed unusual changes in the solar light spectrum. The SOHO satellite has recorded solar flares with unusual intensity and frequency. Particularly significant was 2012, when Earth narrowly missed a solar storm with power equivalent to the 1859 Carrington event, the strongest geomagnetic storm ever recorded. If this storm had hit Earth, it could have destroyed our entire modern electronic and telecommunications infrastructure. With special significance in Enoch's calculation system, the year 2033 will be exactly 2,000 years since the crucifixion, and 2040 coincides with predictions about the grand solar minimum. What makes these timeframes even more compelling is how they align with multiple independent scientific predictions. Climate scientists predict that Arctic ice could be completely gone during summer months by 2035. Geologists warn that the Yellowstone supervolcano shows increasing signs of unrest. Astronomers track potentially hazardous asteroids that will make close approaches during this period. Enoch's writings also describe specific astronomical alignments that would mark the transition period. He mentioned when the great star returns and the dragon constellation awakens. Modern astronomy identifies these as references to the return of bright comets and the precession bringing different constellations into prominence. The galactic alignment that occurred in 2012, when Earth's axis pointed toward the galactic center, was just the beginning of a longer process. Enoch's calculations suggest the most significant effects will manifest over the next 2 decades as cosmic radiation patterns shift and solar system dynamics change. Particularly intriguing is Enoch's reference to the opening of the gates of heaven. Some researchers interpret this as describing increased cosmic ray bombardment when Earth's magnetic field weakens, allowing more space radiation to reach the surface. This could trigger genetic mutations, climate changes, and even consciousness alterations in living beings. The mathematical precision of Enoch's predictions becomes clear when we consider that his 364-day calendar creates a perfect framework for tracking multiple astronomical cycles simultaneously. Every 7 years, this calendar realigns with solar cycles. Every 52 years, it completes a century that corresponds to significant planetary alignments. Advanced computer modeling now confirms that the period from 2025-2040 represents a unique convergence of multiple cosmic cycles: solar minimum, magnetic pole reversal acceleration, increased asteroid activity, and the approach toward the galactic alignment's maximum effect. Dr. Sergei Smelyakov, a Ukrainian mathematician who has extensively studied ancient calendar systems, argues that Enoch's calculations demonstrate knowledge of time wave mechanics, the idea that time itself has cycles and that consciousness is fundamentally connected to cosmic rhythms. Are we truly living in the final age that Enoch warned about? Part 4. Signs manifesting right now. While scientists continue debating the accuracy of these predictions, there's no denying that many signs Enoch described have begun appearing in our era. Earth's magnetic field, the invisible shield protecting us from cosmic radiation, is rapidly weakening. The South Atlantic anomaly, a region of unusually weak magnetic field, is expanding and could be the first sign of magnetic pole reversal. Satellites passing through this area frequently malfunction due to increased cosmic radiation. The International Space Station must shut down sensitive equipment when flying through this region. If the magnetic field continues weakening, our atmosphere could be blown away by solar wind, similar to what happened to Mars. Seismic activity is also increasing significantly. The number of earthquakes magnitude 6.0 and above has increased 65% in the past decade compared to 20th century averages. Volcanoes worldwide are becoming more active, with unexpected eruptions in Iceland, Indonesia, and Hawaii. Global climate is experiencing extreme fluctuations. Ocean currents, described as the heat transport conveyor belt of the oceans, are slowing down. The Gulf Stream has weakened 15% since 1950, and if this trend continues, it could lead to a new ice age in Europe. Rare astronomical phenomena are also occurring with unusual frequency. In 2024, we witnessed a total solar eclipse crossing North America, and there will be many more special astronomical events in coming years. Particularly significant is 2029, when asteroid Apophis will fly near Earth at only 31,000 kilometers, closer than geostationary satellites. This will be the first time in recorded history that such a large asteroid comes so close to Earth. Space weather has become increasingly unpredictable. The Parker Solar Probe mission has revealed that our Sun's magnetic field is far more complex and unstable than previously understood. Solar wind speed variations now occur over much shorter timeframes, creating unpredictable space weather that can disrupt satellite communications and power grids. Even more concerning are the recent discoveries about cosmic ray bombardment. When Earth's magnetic field weakens, more high-energy particles from deep space penetrate our atmosphere. These particles can trigger cloud formation, affect weather patterns, and potentially influence biological processes, including human consciousness and behavior. The Schumann resonance, often called Earth's heartbeat, the electromagnetic frequency generated by lightning in Earth's atmosphere, has been showing unusual fluctuations. Normally stable at 7.83 Hz, recent measurements show spikes reaching 36 Hz and higher, with unknown implications for all life on Earth. All these signs, when combined, create a concerning picture of major changes occurring on our planet. Are these just natural variations, or are we truly entering the final phase of a grand cycle as Enoch predicted? The evidence we've just explored reveals an astounding connection between ancient wisdom and modern science. The Book of Enoch isn't just a religious... Subscribe to never miss our other mysterious discoveries, and hit that notification bell to stay updated with the latest content from Journey of Fortune.